What is up, everybody? It is the Alternative Edge. I am your host, obviously, Tony Cotillo here, brought to you and powered by our good friends at BetQL. Man, what a hell of a day we had already. But we're not going to be here to break it all down. We're going to be here to look forward to tomorrow night, right? The way this show is going to be structured on Sunday nights, it's looking forward to Monday night. So you can listen to this tonight, you can listen to it tomorrow morning, and you can get ready for that stream of winnings and tickets to hit you for Monday Night Football. As always, everybody that was checking in and like and subscribe, much appreciated. Loved every minute of it. It's been fantastic. And as always, make sure that you hop in the Discord. Biggest thing, hop in that Discord room because, like I've said before, I had a bunch of people hopping in and a bunch of people, whether they be signing up or just holding conversations, whatever it is, it's been a blast. So continue to do that as we get along. Listen, we all knew that week one was going to be a little crazy, right? I think we all knew that week one was going to be a little crazy. And I don't think that we predicted some of the very low scoring outputs that we saw already in week one, right? I don't know if that was going to be the case. But I do know for one thing that, you know, you always look at the first 2, 3, 4 games as a microcosm of the no preseason play. You know, the very light practices. You look at all of that, right? And I think that's one of the biggest things that you should really look into and understand that this is going to continue to happen. Okay, this is going to continue to happen right now, but I wouldn't get crazy. I would not get crazy. That's the thing. Please do not get crazy. And I say that all the time because listen, things can change in a matter of seconds. Then listen, if you're live checking in right now, if you're on X, great comments, mailbag questions, so start sits, best bets, you name it. We're gonna go over. I'll show you some of the tickets that we won today. Unfortunately, we missed 2 parlays by 1 touchdown. Okay, we missed 2 parlays by 1 touchdown. Okay, so we almost hit hard today, and that's why I say all the time, right? I say this all the time. I'm gonna put this link to Discord. Make sure you hop in our Discord right here. Very, very simple. The Discord is right there. That is the link. It's in the description of the show. If you go on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. Go in there, click on the Discord link, or it's right in the comments. That comment's going to take you right to the Discord. It is a free Discord. Okay. It is a free Discord. Yes, there are paid rooms above that. Okay. But this is a free. I am in the free Discord, dropping some plays and dropping some picks, as always, and having a discussion because that's what it's all about. But we missed. Listen, we had 2 really good parlays today. Okay, that we just missed. All right, and I knew. Listen, you always take a chance. You always take a chance on somebody. Okay, you always take a chance on somebody, and I took a chance. And listen, the chance it didn't work out. It really didn't. It didn't work out, but that's okay. At the end of the day, it didn't work out. I'm okay with that. Okay. And Bryce Young is the one I thought maybe here's a funny scenario. So we had 2 3-leg parlays, and one was all quarterback driven, one was all running back driven. And again, I'm not gonna these are all in Discord, the plays are in Discord. We'll recap everything again this week because that's what I'd like to do. Probably like on a Tuesday night, we'll go live, say, okay, what went wrong? What did we do? You know, what did it look like? But we had Aaron Rodgers. We had these are all throw for 2 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers hit, Jordan Love hit, and then we had Bryce Young, who only gave us 1. I will be honest with you, I was deeply disappointed at Bryce Young. I thought he reverted back and looked like the old Bryce Young, and I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that at all. Because of that, he hindered a lot of my plus money plays. I liked Xavier Leggett. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Things don't work out. All right. They just unfortunately they don't work out. And again, there's nothing I can do about that, right? There's nothing we can do about that. All I know is we live to play another week, right? We live to play another week. Isn't that what they always say? We live to play another week. But what I will say is looking into Monday night, it gives us a perspective of should we temper our expectations, right? Should we temper our expectations? I mean, who would have known that that Jets and Steelers game was going to be off the hook, right? That game was absolutely off the hook. That was great. But let's get right into it. Listen, like I said, we had a decent day. We won a couple tickets. We hit on the Ashton Genty touchdown. Now we had that was part of a parlay. And like I say, we always say bet the single bets. Okay. So that parlay that was ruined by Kenneth Walker. Where the hell was Kenneth Walker today? Like, what the hell? Like, are you kidding me with the Zach Charbonnet? Like that just blew my mind. And so we had a parlay of Ashton Gente ATD, Kenneth Walker ATD, Chuba Hubbard ATD. And I thought it was a lock, right? I thought it was a lock. Clint Kubiak, it's a lock. Even if you use both of them, it's a lock. Won the lock. Kill me, right? So we got 2 or 3. So we hit the tickets. So it's okay, right? Marvin Harrison Jr., I propped up. I continued to prop up. We won that ticket. We got it earlier also for plus money on for tails, on Odd Shopper Tails. So that was a cool thing. So we had a lot of interesting hits today, but we just missed some of the parlays. They're very simple. We just missed some of the parlays. Now, let's get into looking forward to Monday night. One of the coolest things I like about and I'm not doing it for the full featured slate, but for Thursday night footballs and Monday night footballs. And I'm going to be honest with you, the only reason why I'm not doing Sunday night footballs right now is because I don't have time to put enough work into it. Meaning the DFS single stat, I just don't. So if I do, I will. But for right now, it's Monday night football and it's Thursday night football. So I love the single stat where you pick 3 guys that you feel like are going to give you the best yardage. I had Quentin Johnson last week who we did well. Xavier Worthy got hurt. And listen, there was nothing we could do about that, right? So it is what it is. Now, for this game, I'm very intrigued about this Minnesota-Chicago game. And the reason why I'm intrigued from so many different angles, I was not the biggest believer in head coach Ben Johnson. I was the big believer in offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. That was until he took the job at Chicago and I heard him speak. And as soon as I heard him speak, I'm like, I'm in. I'm sold. The way he did his introductory press conference, the way he really held stern and he was all about leadership and the way he was very confidently cocky, I'll say. Confidently cocky. I love that. Right? I loved it about him. This dude knows how to call an offense. And he's got a lot of weapons. And I think a lot of these weapons we're not even remembering why and how good they really are, like DeAndre Swift, who I think is the forgotten man on this team in this offense. I do. I was talking to one of my good friends today about it. And like he said, listen, who knows? It wasn't his decision to get rid of DeAndre Swift in Detroit. He loved DeAndre Swift. It wasn't his decision, but they did. Now he's got him back. Right now he's got him back, and I think he's going to utilize him as much as he can as his Jahmyr Gibbs. Is he Jahmyr Gibbs? No. However, this guy still doesn't have a lot of tread. Right? He still has a lot of tread on his tires. He doesn't have a lot of mileage on those legs, bro. I'm telling you. So the one good thing about DeAndre Swift, he's still a dynamic playmaker. We watched it, and I think in Ben Johnson's offense, I do think that he's going to be able to really shine. I really do. I think he's going to be able to shine. I do. I mean, again, so I think looking at this game from that perspective and looking at the other side of the ball where you have JJ McCarthy, which essentially is going to be his first game, right? His first game starting. And you still have that fact of, is he going to be able to take that next step? It's on the road, hostile environment. But Kevin McConnell showed that he can be good with an average quarterback in Sam Darnold. So you think about that going forward, like, well, why couldn't he do it with JJ McCarthy? The thing is, I don't know, right? None of us know. This is week 1. We have nothing to go off of. The only thing I have to go off of is I know that Ben Johnson is going to want to call a really interesting game plan. And I think that bodes us very well when we talk about value and we talk about betting value, right? From DFS fantasy value to sports betting value. I think this game has a lot into it. So let's get right to the single stat. So this is the single stat, DK, that we do. These are three guys. You have to pick three guys, okay, that you feel, okay, three guys that you feel are going to be the ones who score the most, not score the most, but give the most yards. So give the most points, right? That goes into the most points. So I like that specifically. And I say, okay, let me get a little different because you always listen. The one thing is you always got to get a little different. I think everybody knows that by now. When you play DFS, you got to get a little different, and this is new, right? So we're gonna learn, and we're gonna start to learn a lot of the tendencies in these single stack contests, right? But once we do that, we'll be able to really get some good analytics behind it. But for right now, the way I'm looking at it is I'm going to go with the absolute must when I do these at first. Which there's always going to be that one absolute must. And I'm definitely going to, and that's Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is a mainstay. I don't care who it is. He's going to get the targets. He's going to always be there. Okay. He's always going to be there. So looking at that and understanding that, I'm going to make him my first flex pick. Okay. For the stat contest. All right. I'm going to make him my first flex pick. I think it's a very easy pick. No matter what, even with Sam Darnold, the dude, again, he's a young guy. He's an elite talent. It's I can go over and over and over again, right? I don't even need to. We could go over and over again. No need to. So let's just drop down to the next one. Now, this one to me is the most intriguing play. And I want you guys, again, to hear me out on why I love Aaron Jones. I talked about it last night when we had a couple people joining in asking me start sits and they asked about Aaron Jones. I told you guys I was high on Aaron Jones. I'm even higher on Aaron Jones today. I know Jordan Mason comes over and he gives them because again, Aaron Jones is above the age of 30. Aaron Jones is now 31 years old. I don't care. Okay. I don't it's his age 31 season. And yes, the team brings in Jordan Mason to be able to have a guy to lighten that workload. But I think that's the lighten the workload behind center. You have to remember that Aaron Jones, the reason why he was so great in Green Bay and he's been so good in Minnesota is his ability to line up as a receiver, whether it be as a go route guy, whether it be as a slot guy, it doesn't matter. He covers all angles and he's that dynamic and he's still that dynamic. So you look at a team right now with JJ McCarthy, and right now it is Justin Jefferson. You have TJ Hawkinson at the tight end position. But again, there's no Jordan Addison right now. There's no Jordan Addison. So for this game specifically, I look and I say, you know what? Who's going to fill the Jordan Addison role? So I look at this game and I'm flipping the script a little bit. And I think it's going to be Aaron Jones. I do. I think it's going to be Aaron Jones over Jordan Naylor. I think it's going to be Aaron Jones. I do. Over Adam Thielen. I think it's going to be Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones is going to get a very good stat line from the receiving standpoint. That's the way I look at this, right? The Chicago Bears are going to try to collapse the pocket. We know how this works. Very simple math. They're going to try to collapse the pocket on JJ McCarthy, and they're going to try to take away the deep ball, and he's going to have to start hitting those underneath routes, which could either go to Hawkinson or go outside to guys like Aaron Jones. So, again, Kevin McConnell is a very good play caller. He's a very good play caller. You see a lot of screens in this game as well to guys like Aaron Jones. So that's why I like Aaron Jones as my second flex for the single stat on DK. And then I also love DeAndre Swift. Like I said, everybody was talking about Caleb Williams and everybody's talking about, DJ Moore and Romeo Duze and Colston Loveland. Like everybody's talking about these guys. Nobody was really talking about DeAndre Swift except for Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's eyes lit up every time he talked about DeAndre Swift. Remember something for people that are in Philadelphia. Remember what DeAndre Swift did in Philadelphia when he was here, when he was utilized as one of these featured guys. He broke out. And I think this guy's going to continue to break out. And I think he's going to continue to show why he is that good and he was being overlooked. You know, looking at the way this offense is going to work, whenever you have a brand new play caller, it kind of played out today, right? You look at like Jacksonville. Jacksonville, everybody was, I know he scored a touchdown, but when you talk about actual overall numbers, Brian Thomas Jr. did not give people what they thought. New offensive system, right? So new offensive system. It's always tough, right? It's always tough, but it's usually tougher for the wideouts, but it's easier for the running backs, especially when they're going to be put in multiple different advantageous situations. And I really look at this and DeAndre Swift and say, this essentially, in my opinion, is going to be the Caleb Williams. Like he's going to be the relief valve. I really feel I feel that way. I do. I now if I, again, if it was a different coordinator and different ideology, I would say no. But all you need to do is look at what Jameer Gibbs did. All you need to do is look at what he did out there in Detroit. And for me, I couldn't be more in love with DeAndre Swift in this game. Being at home, I think he's going to have multiple red zone opportunities. I think he's going to have multiple opportunities on swing routes, on wheelhouse route, on wheel routes. I think he's going to be all over the place. I think they're really going to utilize him. Right. I'm very, very excited to see how they utilize him, a little differently than he was last year, especially in this Ben Johnson system. So for me, I like all three. I like Jefferson as listen, he is the status quo. He's the incumbent. You got to go with JJ. And then I love me some Aaron Jones. I love me some Aaron Jones. And I also love me some DeAndre Swift. So that is for DK. Let's swing over for the showdown DK, where I'm going to give you who I feel should be the captain, okay, in my squad, and who the AEVP is going to be, which is the alternative edge value play. Again, this is Tony Cotillo right here, Jigsaw, on the Monday Night Football fantasy value on the alternative edge, powered by BetQL. Make sure you like, and subscribe on YouTube. Get over there. It's where all the content drops when it comes to the fantasy all the fantasy talk. Get in our free Discord. Very, very simple. Right here. It's linked right in the description. It's in the comments. Click on it. It's a free Discord. Hop in there. I'm always there to answer questions. Always there to debate. Like I said, you can get AI robots. You can get model robots. You can get, people that don't want to play their picks but talk about them. I do it both. I'm not bragging. I'm not saying I'm, all, but I just, to me, I can't give something out if I'm not playing it myself. Right? I can't give something out if I'm not playing it myself. So that's my biggest thing. That's why I show you guys, win or lose, what happens. It is what it is, right? So these are the three guys I really like. Now let's go to the standard or the showdown DK, and I'll give you my two picks for that. Now, I just talked about DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift to me is going to be the captain. I want DeAndre Swift as my captain. I do. I feel like he has the most appeal from a statistical standpoint because he can do multiple different things. I think he's going to be utilized all over the place. I'm really excited to see what DeAndre Swift's going to do in the Johnson offense. I talked about him enough. Now, one guy that I'm going to pick as my AEVP, right, which is the alternative edge value play, which is somebody in your lineup. Whether if it's a featured, it's going to be under 4,500. If it is a showdown, it's going to be under 3,000. And I got a $2,000 gem. Okay, Alameda Zacchaeus. Listen, I'm just going to call him Oz. I love Oz in this offense. Listen, the one thing when you talk about guys like Sean Payton, guys like Sean McVay, right? These guys, even guys like Liam Cohen, like guys that can call Chip Kelly, guys that can call a hell of an offense. They utilize so many different parts of the team. And they go all the way down the depth chart. There's plays for everybody. There really is. And I really look at this Chicago Bears offense and I say, listen, we know we got DJ Moore, right? Uh, oh, we know again that we have Colston Loveland, right? We know again that we have Roma Dunze. We know that we talked about we have DeAndre Swift. But I am telling you right now, I am telling you right now that we are 100% going to see a couple plays for Mr. Zacchaeus. And it's a guy that we've seen in Atlanta, we've seen in Philadelphia. Like he bounces around, but this is a guy again that could change lineups, right? When I told everybody about Jahan Dotson, and I said, "Yo, Jahan Dotson, listen, you got to get on Jahan Dotson 3 for 59. Listen, that changes lineups, man. Especially when again, it changes lineups. Simply put, it changes lineups. Okay, so again, when I look at that, I just say to myself, you know what? I need that gem to get in there and do some damage. So I like Zacchaeus a lot. And again, if you look at parts of that Detroit Lions offense, because it's all we have to compare it to. There was always guys that came in and you were always like, huh? Josh Reynolds, where's this guy coming from? Tim Patrick, right? He utilizes so many different elements after the top two or three. And that's an offense that had Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and JMO. So you look at that, you say, okay, I know there could be a secret stash here. And I think that is the case. So the case is going to be my AVP. I think that listen, I'm not going to say he's going to score a touchdown, but I do think that you get at least 2 to 3 targets from him that can at least get you a couple catches that probably get possibly 40 to 50 yards and possibly a touchdown, and that'll be huge. Again, if you're stacking your lineup and you have a Zacchaeus guy and an AVP, it flips, you're going to cash, and I think that's great. And you're going to cash, and I like it. So that's where I'm going right there. Now let's get to some bets. Let's get to some bets. What are we betting? Okay. As always, I will be dropping bets tomorrow in the Discord. Make sure you get into the free Discord. Because I'm always putting them, whether it be the plus money prop train or whether it just be the normal bets, the 10 for 10. They are in there. So make sure you get in the Discord for them. Okay. But what I'll do is I'll give you right off the bat, I'll give you one of my favorites. It's boosted. They're offering, make sure on DK you get the Monday Night Football boost. And here it is, man. You get a 50% boost, and this is only a 3-legger. You're talking 8 to 1, a little more than 8 to 1, man. 8 and a quarter to 1. Which I listen. I told you this isn't touchdowns either, right? It only for Caleb Williams to throw through the air, but Aaron Jones over 2.5 receptions. Now you heard exactly what I talked about. Aaron Jones. It's proof in the pudding right there. I know my projection for Aaron Jones is 4 to 5 catches. That means he's going to cash the over 2.5. Caleb Williams in the Ben Johnson offense. What is he going to be? Who is he going to be? How is it all going to work? Man, I'm excited. And again, I think that he's going to be so structured and so, so ready to take on this challenge. I think he was visibly frustrated last year in certain situations. And I think having a guy, a well-known guy who's been successful, and you've seen him resurrect guys like Jared Goff, okay, you could say, you know what? I'm in. I'm in on Ben Johnson. So he's to help me out. And then we got DeAndre Swift. This is, again, receiving yards over 15 and a half. I mean, this is only a 5-to-1 parlay. You boost this with the 50% SGP boost, and you're going at 8-2-5. You're going at 8-to-1. I think this is a really good play that you could get really sexy and interesting with. So I like that again for tomorrow night. Then we're going to go touchdown ATD parlay. And whenever I throw these, this is a little jigsaw crazy parlay. We're going plus 3,800. This is an ATD parlay. Now, here's the best part about this. I will continue to say this. I will continue to hammer it home. Today, specifically, we put 2 parlays in. One was, I think, one was 6-to-1. One was almost 10-to-1. And they were both 3-leggers. And we hit 2 or 3 on both of them. We were Bryce Young touchdown away and a Kenneth Walker touchdown away from banging on both. Okay. Very simple. However, we came out ahead because we bet the single bets. And we hit on the Aaron Rodgers over 1.5. We hit on the Jordan Love over 1.5. We hit on the Chuba Hubbard touchdown. We hit on the Ashton Jetty touchdown. So we already listen, 4 out of the 6 hit. So we were already good. That's why I keep telling people that's the way I do it. Okay. That's the way I do it. So I continue to keep my bankroll fresh. Okay. Listen, it may drop a little bit, but it's not going to drop a lot because, like I told you before, very, very rare, very, very rare where you put these parlays in. I've been doing them enough that if you really get it in there, that if it's 4 legs, very rare you hit 0, right? And as long as you play your cards right to get at least 50% of those legs hit, you're going to come out with a wash. And then if you get 3 or 4, you're going to come out ahead. So that's where we're at on this 3-pick parlay. We go Zacchaeus. He's the wild card. He's a wild card. I really think DeAndre Swift and Aaron Jones are solid plays to score tomorrow night from the running back position. But I threw a wild card in there, boosts us up to 38-1, and that is Zacchaeus. And like I said, it's the Ben Johnson effect. So I really, really like that play. Now, again, looking at everything as a whole from today, I think we had a decent day. I think we did pretty well. We had a lot of different plays, and again, hop into Discord, very, very simple. You'll see them all. But one thing I just want to I want to continue to hammer home, man. It's this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. I have done this many, many years. I am not, and I say this wholeheartedly. I am not saying again. I'm not saying that it's wrong to bet $500. I'm not saying it's wrong to bet $1. I don't really care. A win is a win to me. Everybody has different limitations, and I'm not guaranteeing anything. All I'm telling you is based on what I see and based on what I know. It'd be different if I never hit bets. It'd be different if I've never, ever had good fantasy teams. It'd be different if I never gave out good advice. Okay, but I do. I'm very confident that I do. And sometimes it just doesn't work out. Very simple. The logic is there, but the result doesn't work out. It happens to everybody. That's what the great thing is, to keep coming back and trying to win again and trying to win again. That's the best part. So as always, Tony Cotillo here from the Alternative Edge, powered by BetQL. Again, listen and understand the way I'm going to do this. You're probably going to have 3 to 4 shows a week. The biggest one is either going to be on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. I can't tell you exactly. It's going to be based on my schedule, but it will be a banger, right? It'll be a banger. It might be on Friday nights, right, around like 11 o'clock, 10:30, because I want to get a couple days to get the entire featured slate in, where we broke it down. We came up, we had a lot of good questions, a lot of good talk. But I do want to use Discord a lot for quick messages, quick hits. I honestly don't want to live on social media. Again, I think a lot, it's a cesspool of negativity. I'm on there because I have to be. But I'd much rather just talk through Discord. It'd be much easier. I don't have to worry about going through all this crap and diving through and algorithms and all that. I'm really not looking forward to any of that. It's really cool when you can build a community and you guys can just talk and figure out what's good, what's not, questions, answers, all that stuff. So I really, really want to I utilize that as well. I think that's great. I do have a lot of stuff coming up that I'll keep you abreast on, which will be fun. We're gonna start my underdog plays next week, which I think will be fun. I love doing underdog. Underdog is fun. It's stuff that I always used to do, and I'll bring it back. I'm bringing back the parlays. I'm bringing back the underdog. I'm bringing back the DFS. I'm bringing back the season long. That's what the alternative edge is. It's everything. It's fantasy. It's DFS, and it's sports betting. And again, it's alternative. It's an alternative way of thinking. I'm not blasting you with models. I'm not blasting you with bar charts. Listen, I get it. I understand. I know you want to run all this stuff. And I'm not saying it's wrong. It's a very good tool, right? I say it all the time. It's a good tool. But I really like diving into these games with the real effect, right? The real impact. I really like it. That's what I'm going to continue to do. It works, right? It works. So everybody, as always, this is the Alternative Edge. Make sure you like and subscribe, whether it be now whether it be later. Let's continue to go. Get on the YouTube page, get in the hop in the free Discord. Again, it is in the comments. It's in everything right there. Hop in that Discord. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. Everybody have a good Sunday. Let's get to the second half of this Buffalo and Baltimore game. Let's get it ready for Monday Night Football tomorrow night, Minnesota and Chicago. And let's cash some. Yeah.